Unit 4-4.2. We are now going to look and we'll explain what we mean by all these. This is going to be part 1 of 4.2, central location data. What am I saying? Imagine you went into a small town and you collected data on how many children are there in each household in the town. So some will have 0, some will have 1, 2, etc. Now you're going to look at the frequencies. How many houses had no children? How many houses had 5 children in the house, etc. We want to get a feeling with all these numbers. What seems to be sort of the middle kind of number? What we in general life always just talk about the average, but with central location there's actually 3 types of middles we can look at. So if we said the number of children per house varied between, let's say, 0 and 9, and remember now, some houses had a lot more than, some numbers had a lot more than others. What seems to be about the middle amount? So the first one we are going to look is actually the average. So the average number of children per house, but we in our section tend to use the word mean. Now remember from your sigma notation, that means if you add all the numbers of children and you divide it by the number of houses, that will give you the average or the mean. Or let's say x equals marks per test, if we wrote a number of tests. And you wrote 3 tests. You first got 10, then 12, then 9. And we don't need to say the test counts out of how many, but if you like to, out of 15 or whatever. N is the number of tests written. So with sigma x, and we indicate mean by an x with a bar at the top, then means add all your marks divided by the number of tests. So on average you got 10.3 out of 15 for your test score. So the mean is one way of looking at the middle type of number. The median is another one. And in the median, you don't do any, you can do a little calculations, but generally you just look at the middle value. So what you do is you take those test marks and you arrange in ascending order. So you would first write the 9, then the 10, then the 12. And the mark that stands in the middle is the median. Let's just look at what if you had an even number of numbers. There are 2 numbers in the middle. Then your median, and this is the only little bit of calculation you would ever do for a median, is simply the mean of the middle 2 values. So your median is 7. let's just look at both these. So the mean and the median could be numbers or a number that is not actually one of your data points. But it tells you that your data centers more or less around 7 in the second example, or in the mean it centers around 10.3. There's another type of central location that we have a look at, and that is the mode, and that is the number that I see most frequently. So if we look at our previous example, but we change the info a little bit, so we could even say these are test scores or number of children per house, etc. Then 6 appeared the most frequently, so the mode equals 6. And it really depends on your reason for finding a central location, which one of these you would use. If you wrote 3 tests and we said we're going to take your average mark as your test mark, then obviously you would use the mean. If you want to compare your test mark to the rest of the class and you want to say, yes, but I got more than half of what the class got, then you're going to look at the median. If you got more than 7, then you got more than half of what the class mark got. Then you fall in that section. And the mode, maybe if you are ordering new shoes, you are a shoe salesman, you're ordering new shoes for your shop, you're going to look at what size shoe sells the most so that you know what is the best size to order or what you must order the most of, and that would be your mode.